There should be a lot of pressure to attack this course and shoot really low. Today, I didn't feel much of that pressure. I was on a really casual card, so it just felt like another day playing a practice round.
I turned it on, got a good 6 birdie in a row stretch, which definitely got the confidence going. If someone told me I was just going to shoot 13, I would have been pumped.
I definitely got some good breaks out there. I wouldn't say I felt super comfortable on the course the whole time. Putt felt a little shaky at times. I had a couple short ones that fortunately grabbed. As a whole, you know, I'm pretty happy with where I scored.
I was throwing the disc really well. I know the conditions might be a little different tomorrow, but my game feels good, and most of the tournaments I've had a slow 9-hole stretch, not necessarily a slow round, but you know, if I can put together 2 more solid rounds and just see where that stacks up.
We had super calm and scoreable conditions today. I think as a whole, I don't know if we've ever seen the field score this well here. If it stays calm like this, we're going to see hot rounds all week.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the 2023 Play It Again Sports Jonesboro Open, powered by Prodigy Disc. Jeremy Koling, Paul Ulibarri, here to bring you round 2 front 9 action here at this event, which has produced some incredibly good scores through the first round.
It really has. I mean, that's the way it's been all year, but I feel like each tournament they keep getting lower and lower and lower, and,
Yeah.
and the bar keeps getting pushed higher and higher and higher. I mean, look at those stats from Eagle, 100%. I mean, just won across the board. He's first in every single category, which is crazy because you got somebody like this in the field.
Oh my gosh. Calvin, hold on a second, guys. Calvin does not lead the field in a statistic. That to me is shocking news. The guy is just on fire. I mean, we've talked about it every week. We don't need to mention it anymore. We're harping on it too much. Proctor. This is the year of the Proctor. This man has dedicated himself to the tour, and he has just been on this card a bunch this year. What? This is the 4th or 5th time we've seen him already?
He likes it. He likes the bright light.
It's hard to get to these league cards, and it's just so impressive. The consistency. Aaron Gossage, guys. Good to see him on another league card. Just an inspiring performance last year.
Yeah, been a minute since we've seen the Goose.
Well, when you almost win the world championships, you can take a little break. You're good. On to the first hole. Big, fun tee shot. Just bombs away. Par 3, 470 feet. Little upslope, so you can try to throw it really as hard as you want. Try to slam it into the ground there.
Really plays as a tunnel shot, though. It's wide fairway, but you're going to see these guys kind of throw it.
Line drives.
Line drive, beeline. Ooh, that would be a cool disc. A beeline. A beeline. I'd buy it.
Eagle just a bit short left. A little bit soft for his liking, I'm sure. You know, and the low scores that we saw in round 1 are just indicative of how calm the weather is. Just perfect scoring conditions. We had a pretty rainy morning here on Saturday, moving day, as Calvin gets this one turned out about 15 meters away, about 50 feet or so. But
out of Rohnert Park, California, James Proctor.
As you can see, the sun is out now, and where's that wind, Paul?
Sucking towards the basket.
It's
in all directions.
That's not what I was oh, yes. Okay. It's pulling it towards. Yes. Okay. Yeah. There's just nothing. It's just calm again.
It's calm, but there's something to be said about the field because this isn't just the first day ever. Let me let them announce the Colorado kid. This isn't the first time it's just been calm here. We didn't see scores like this when it was. And so, with that being said, people are just good, getting better, and this is too low. But
Too
it could
low?
get us.
So
it could
is-
get skip.
So is James's. Oh, wow. Yeah. Good. It's the only drive in the circle.
Did it creep in? Yeah, probably.
Calvin never really had a chance that time. It can be a little bit of a scary putt. You can see the slope there Any cage hits result usually in a little bit of roll to a lot of bit of roll.
That's such a good putt there, and that was a great angle to show you the slope that he's putting severely uphill. But this is just in the heart. This is what we're used to seeing when we're out there seeing him. You watch him practice putt.
If you weren't watching live yesterday, you missed one of the coolest stats that Nate Sexton, our buddy, shared on DGN as Eagle's putt comes up short. I'll share that stat in just a second.
He scooted way in the circle,
Aaron.
but that is not what we're looking for here to start the round.
So to touch on James's putting this season, he has made 50 putts outside the circle. He's leading the field in most putts made outside the circle. And Nate was saying that a good way of judging a player's putting is putts made outside the circle versus putts made outside the circle versus putts missed inside the circle. And he is a plus 25 on that margin, which smokes the field in that. Only missed 25 in, made 50 outside. It's pretty incredible stuff from James, and that's one of the reasons why we're seeing him on so many league cards.
That's a great statistic and kind of mind-blowing.
Yeah,
honestly.
no kidding. 50 jumpers this season. That is a ton. On to hole 2, par 4, 820 feet. Low ceiling tee shot opens up the biggest gap, but the high ceiling goes to the tinier gap but gets in a better position. The key is getting left and long off this tee. The landing zone that they have circled there is perfect. That'll set you up for about 350 feet uphill with a low ceiling. There is OB left. Proctor taking the low line, but on the higher end of the low line.
Ooh, and gets a little booster off of the mud pie. Nice.
On the upslope is great.
You think he's going to be pinched a little?
A little bit, right, yeah. And I think Eagle is as well, unless this gets a really good skip to the left.
It does a little better.
Yeah, and that's 15 feet's a big difference in that angle on the approach there. I think Eagle is set up in a good position.
This needs to get out of those trees. The crazy thing with them is normal human hits it that hard. You don't have a chance to go in that tree deep. Like, it's hyzering way before, 100 feet before, but with them, it just, all of a sudden it's there, and it's like, oh, don't hit those.
A very nervy miss on hole 1 from Aaron. I mean, that one, it's one thing to just miss the putt low, hit the cage, but he airballed that low from about 25 feet. Hopefully he can get that corrected.
Here's the sauce, though, that he delivers that nobody else has except for Eagle when he wants to.
Tristan Tanner's got that one
no, I'm saying
angle.
On this card.
Sure. Yeah, there's a few players that have got that kind of speed forehand, but Aaron Gossage just got that next level.
Yeah. I hope we haven't forgot already the speed that Eagle used to have with that thing. I mean,
no, of course not.
Like,
I'm just waiting for the day where he feels comfortable again. And
I don't want him to do it. I would rather just see him throwing sweet backhands.
Well, look what he did at the European Open last year. It was some of the best disc golf we've ever seen, and went backhand only as James throws a beautiful low ceiling approach inside the circle. Very well done there. This is what you want. Just couldn't quite get back to edge to get the skip. It's going to be just outside the circle for Calvin.
All right, here's a chance. Nobody's ever made a putt with the pocket out like that. Just never happened.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. You got to tuck the pockets, folks.
Eagle air ball. Not happy about it. That's tough, though. I mean,
no, it's a long.
Yeah.
Well, that's a bonus make for most people. And Calvin low 2 putts in a row, and both putts below the cage. Proctor, an opportunity here to take the early lead here on the lead card, and connects. Great start for Proctor. Getting either one of these 2 holes is almost a bonus. I mean, it feels really good if you're 1 under through 2. Gossage does clean up. Having a few words with himself, trying to clean it up a bit.
I mean, he should take comfort in knowing that Calvin and Eagle have missed too, you know?
Sure, but
those were to gain strokes, not losing them.
I think it'd be one thing if this was lead card last round and maybe it was a 4-round event and things have kind of shifted and settled into place, but this is just moving day. This is second round and there's so many people within one stroke of being on this card. You have got to have your pedal to the metal at these events. Otherwise, you're going to be losing some ground. I mean, losing ground right now. James Conrad's 8 down through 9 right now. You cannot start off slow and do well here.
Marchbanks pops off a little 13 early just to set the mark a little higher.
Can we have just a moment from Mason Marchbanks, this guy coming out of Texas this season, kind of having a breakout season? You've probably seen his name if you've been watching the leaderboards.
He's nice with it.
He's coming out here having a great season for his first year on the road.
All right, time for these guys to relax, throw a good one, because this is a par 3, kind of a must get as the course moves to get you started with a nice clean round. This is a beeline driver,
beautiful,
skipping left and parking it. That's going to add to his C1 statistics, folks.
Yeah, let's run that one back here. That's just the perfect line here is flip up flat straight out of the hand. And that is James Proctor's #1 signature shot. The other play is a little bit of a force over Anheuser that stables out at the end.
Like this.
Eagle wants to keep that one a little bit lower. This is going to be pushing left, but I don't think it's got the energy to get OB.
He's been at that 40-foot mark for the first 2 holes, now 3. He's going to eventually make
one. Oh, yeah. Calvin loving James's line, staying a bit more right.
That's so good.
Stabling out the end, and Calvin's on the board.
Peeked on the way by.
And let's see, are we going to get a little double follow flight here? Oh, yeah. Very similar lines, just a little bit more action for Calvin. Same result. Remember the first time we did a double follow flight? Blew the internet's mind.
Ooh, a little heavy on the hyzer.
Hold on. Yeah, it's good. That's the muddy ground play. Ground play were a little bit more solid. That could have potentially skipped OB. Yeah, you're just not going to see him miss all of them. Good delivery from Eagle. Aaron.
I mean, that looked good.
Yeah, it's
better.
It's the adjustment he needed to make.
Yep. It just wobbled, so it stayed up.
Yeah.
If it was a little smoother release, that thing drops. We got Proctor on a tear. 3 for 3. I mean, hole 1, hole 2, bonus birdies, really. And hole 3 is one you got to get. Check.
He got it. 50-spot jump for Mason there. Hole 4, par 4, 660-foot tee shot here. There's a couple plays, the Anheuser big shot. I don't know if anyone's going to go for that here on this card. Pretty simple low ceiling to try to get to that red and white stake, which is 250 from the pin. There's OB left. There's a couple of tree areas that are circled OB. But the OB that really comes into play is the OB by the pin that's left and long. Elevated basket, as you can see. This is one of the, I don't say it feels like one of the easier gets, but it actually comes in right as middle of the pack in terms of difficulty.
This has got a great skip.
Yeah, it's objective
really good.
achieved to avoid the low ceiling branches down the middle gap.
Ooh, this looks like a very stable disc.
Ah.
Lucky.
Surely that's not the
ducky.
play. I don't think he's aiming right side of that
He
tree.
pulled it for sure, but that thing's so stable. Worked out. Hit the height right.
Maybe he is going that side. I don't know. Seemed a little fishy.
Missed that branch. Deal. And that's just fine.
Yeah, I think Calvin's trying to shape that a little bit more to the right, turn it over a bit, but like you said, it's fine. I think even if you hit the low ceiling and say directly, if you go shoot straight down, you're still 400 feet away. This Gossage is throwing a big roller. This actually needs to set down. I think it crept back OB. Dang.
I just think it's so random to just plop little OBs here and there. Honestly. Because hear me out. We got Proctor throwing a pretty good shot there, circle's edge. But hear me out. Nobody threw it exactly where they wanted to, except for Proctor, which means 3 guys threw bad shots. 1 guy threw a bad shot that was better than the other bad shots, but is out of bounds randomly. You hear what I mean?
Yeah,
like
I
all
hear what you're saying.
people who throw bad shots should be penalized, and some of them didn't on this hole. That's my point. That was a good shot there coming in, and Eagle needs a straight gosh.
This needs to slow down.
Oh,
Okay. It's way better than it looked out of the hand.
right?
That's a bad shot buzzer. Count that as OB.
See, look at this. I mean,
I
the
was talking about
OB's
Eagle's
there.
approach, not Aaron's
Oh, yeah,
drive.
yeah.
Yeah,
but look
but
at that. Dang.
That is an that's a millimeter from being in bounds.
Yeah.
That is super unfortunate. Good work on the approach. It's always nice hearing that little bam.
Yep. A relief to get the par after shaving one early. Oh.
Okay. Not used to seeing Eagle not make putts. Slow. Oh, very un-James-like on that release.
Yeah, number 26 on the year.
That stat was, oh boy.
27.
That stat was shared later on in the round. So I wonder if that was including those 2 misses. Either way, it's a wash because the guy's still putting tremendous this season.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that's a tough 3-putt there after the perfect start. And just like that, Calvin.
Really easy hole.
Yeah, you can't be making the mistakes on the green. Obviously, like you saw there with Aaron's OB, there are some OBs to be had, especially by the green. To avoid that off the tee and off the approach, you got to get that birdie or par. The Eagles got some things to clean up on the green as well. Aaron's still waiting for that first birdie here on the lead card. It's going to drop him down off the leaderboard quite a ways as people are out there shooting some really good scores. James is continuing his ways. He's now 10 down through 11, which is, good.
Yeah, Isaac was 7 down through a short amount of holes as well.
Just if you don't have wind, people talk about the courses being too easy. But the thing is on courses like this, it's kind of like GBO or DDO in a way where we always expect or plan to play in the wind out here. And if there's any influence of wind, it changes our game plan on so many places, like hole 5, for instance.
I mean, one time we played in the snow.
Calvin, super low, but it's driven. This has enough to get over, right? Oh, just barely.
Wow. I don't know if he thought that was inbound.
Yeah, that was probably incredibly sketchy until that just barely dribbled over.
Go in.
Could not be more nonchalant in that 500.
He's going to do it one of these times, man. He's got that perfect disc for it, that nice angle.
That was just a rewind of day one.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious to see if Gossage lays up, because I think he laid up first round.
Okay.
I'm wondering with the slow start, does he go for it, or does he try to do the, stick to the game plan, even though
He looks like he's got fast disc in hand. What a funny first birdie to get of the round. If he were to...
Ooh, make it?
Oh, my God.
If he were to make it?
Okay, Aaron. This is the way to play it. Overstable, driven with Anheuser. Oh, my gosh. Was that just before the chains? Or, either way, that was chain height coming through.
I think that was a Captain's Raptor, and those things go like 200 feet.
Was that really a cap
Yeah,
wrap?
I think so. Looking at the stamp, I think it was. That's insane, dude.
James Proctor, the only one willing to look human, laying up. Just a jump putt across from there. Oh my gosh. Great effort.
Yeah, that one had some wand on it kind of going by there. Some zip. Okay, gosh. Got to make them.
That was another decent delivery, just a bit short. Wow, James putting before Calvin. Just says how close Calvin is for the birdie. So now Calvin's rattled off 3 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
5 being the second hardest hole on the course.
Yeah, and Calvin now takes the lead on the card.
Only 13 individuals with the birdie on this one. And that's in the calm. So you can imagine when there's wind blowing in this one, that number is cut into a quadrant of that, maybe. Onto the island 6th. How many forehands are we going to see? Gossage, yeah.
1.
Just Gossage?
Yeah, let's say that.
All right. I think that's probably accurate. But it plays really well for the forehand Spikeiser. But if you got the Toro, like Calvin's got the Toro.
And you got shots like Calvin's got shots.
Force that with some Anheuser at that right side pine and let it do its work into the bullseye.
Yeah, that's Boolean right there. Is this...
Yeah.
Boolean. No, at this point, I just want to know how close they can get. I'm not worried about the island.
Why have we not seen the ace on this hole yet? I just don't understand it. Does Gossage finally get on the board?
Yes.
Good width. Good speed. Good birdie coming. Proctor just too smooth with it with the backhand.
It's a little high and tracking for the one time.
Oh my gosh. So I just don't understand it. How are we not seeing metal rung up or something on this? It's like just screaming for it. And there's Gossage. It's one you got to get, especially when you have a slow start.
Now he's rolling though. He could rattle off.
Oh, sure.
If he gets 3 more on the 9.
The whole course is attackable. I mean, as far as I see it, there are 5 bonus birdies, maybe 5.5 if you include hole 1. And that's only a bonus birdie if you don't have like 600 feet of power.
Even if you do, these guys missed it. Right
2.
there. See that guy? He's a bonus getter.
2, 5, 9, 14, and 18. Those are the bonus birdies.
Those guys love bonus. They're rich with bonus.
Yeah, they get that. Sure, they.
If I was their boss, I would bonus.
Well, the fact that they're going for 5 is the one that really that's the one hole I think James has a par on right now, as he is 11 through 12, but he laid up on that one. Calvin and Eagle are going for that one, and they're just parking it. So anyhow, if you get those 5 bonus birdies, Aaron Gossage is still in position. Or if you get any of those bonus birdies, you can rattle off a ton of birdies on this course.
Yep. This one is probably right there around the easiest hole on the course. It's par 4, 675. Really, the tricky part is the upshot, and if you get right behind, there's one tree right in the middle. Have a feeling they might change this one next year a little bit. I'll show you why. Imagine if you were Calvin right now. Okay. Ooh, and,
And then just
and you do this.
imagine if you're Calvin's disc. All right, so he
okay.
is
wait,
perfect.
We're imagining that. Let me keep going.
Okay.
And now from there, you have 214 feet into the green.
That tree is about, 200 to 210 feet. And they made this hole more difficult by bringing it down the hill, made the tee shot harder to rip, and somehow players are shooting lower on the hole.
I think it's easier from down here. And the reason is because the tee pad on the left
Brought the trees in on the left side?
It brought the trees in and that big tree too. The big tree in the middle.
Interesting.
On the flight, people were hitting it and then popping down because the hyzer to get around was a bit much.
Yeah.
So just by making it longer doesn't necessarily make it harder.
Aaron
Unless you
Gossage
throw
with
2 feet like me, then it's a little bit tricky.
Yeah. Well, James is going to have a standstill forehand, I would imagine. Aaron is out of position, but still within range for the big forehand hyzer. That looks like it's tracking nicely.
Go in the circle.
Yeah. Good shot.
That's about where they all land, pretty much. Right in the mouth.
And a little 1-2 shimmy step and hyzer release.
Oh, branches are going to get you?
Nope. Yeah, and he gets through the initial gap. That's only 29 feet or closer.
And here's that just absolute child's play right there.
Yeah, I think I like the natural nature of the course. There's not a lot of unnecessary out of bounds. Like there's a lot of water that denotes that OB as eagle. Is that hit cage? Mm-hmm. Nicely done. Let's see how close that was to going in. Let's check that out here on the replay. And a little dick. I think that we may see a bit more of unnatural out of bounds added. I think Brad kind of alluded to that, the course designer. I don't think any course designer wants to see their course scorched over and over again. But we're just going to see a star frame here on the second easiest hole of the course.
Yeah, finicky little process with that because it gets a little windy. Like you said, it doesn't play that easy.
No.
And then you start adding a bunch of OB, and then we have the windy day, and then it plays super tough. But this is what I think. Whatever creates scoring separation, like somebody from 20th who plays well should be able to play well again and move up
and jump,
not just get lapped.
Yeah, sure. Or like shoot the round of their life and not move at all.
Well, kind of going back to my point as we check out these scores, Conrad's not, or slowed down a little. He slowed down a little. He missed 14.
12 through 14.
Yeah. But on hole 4, we saw, like I said, 3 bad shots, 1 good one, 1 out of bounds, 2 safe, and the only person who bogeyed was the one who was inbounds. Seems a little unfair, but
on hole 8, par 3, 324 foot blind, hyzer sidearm. Proctor might throw a turnover, but he's got this forehand in the bag, so I think we might see 4 forehands here.
I mean, he did just throw the forehand. Inside, but
this is high right. Does he use the trees as a backstop again? He does. That is a little fortunate If you get just into the wood line there, you're going to have a 15-foot putt that might not be makeable.
This is going to be circle's edge, right? No, inside circle.
Aaron Gossage, he might be trying to throw it high enough to ring it up.
I don't think that's going to do it. But
no, it's just going to be good for a park job.
Yep, good bullseye. Oh, probably just outside. Just mark it on there for him if you're doing the UDISC. Ooh. Ooh.
That was the ace line, Proctor. Giving it a chance and staying in the bullseye, that's perfect.
Last one of these Eagle had was not in the middle.
Yep, hole
Like
4 off the top. That time, that was in the center. Good adjustment. This is always such a scary basket to putt on if you're not parked. We've seen so many big-time rollaways. I know Kristen Tatar had a putt in round 1 that hit the cage and rolled all the way down to the very bottom of the hill. And I'm sure many of you remember Macbeth's missed putt for birdie, rolls to 60, cashed the par putt. All that to say, another star frame here for our lead card. Alden Harris moving up the leaderboard. He is 9 under through 13. Some really good scores going on right now as we fly over the 9th. Par 4, 750 feet. 3 players will be going down the middle, and then there's also an Eagle McMahon play, which is alternative. But once you get a good tee shot, it is a completely blind approach, and you've got to make a decision. Trying to shape the fairway naturally, or are you trying to play the backdoor hyzer underneath this wide limb? Most players are going to play underneath that wide limb. Calvin pulls this one to the right, but it's got a lot of speed. Fights through really well. 5 in a row, or is that 6 in a row now for Calvin?
5 out of the last 6 for Eagle. Sticking with it.
That is. And the thing about this play is, what the heck? I mean, you're just throwing a 520-foot hyzer, but you're going farther away from the pin, but with a much better approach angle. That's why Eagle's attacking that. Thing is, normally I think that's a little bit wind aided, but there's none of that happening today. So to stick with that, you must really like that approach angle out there. Did that go through the right side a little bit, or was that pretty money? Okay.
They all did. Well, except for Eagle.
He went way out the right side. The Eagle, big forehand here. Look at that shape. That's beautiful.
Oh, wow. That's going to work.
This is going to roll towards us. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. From back there.
Well, now we know why he does it.
That is so good.
I would love to come in on that angle, but coming through on this side, it's really just throw it towards that tree and hope for the best. I mean, this is as good as you could play it with peering it.
Yeah.
Like, no trees
going down
involved.
the fairway. Yeah.
Played a 40 feet downhill. No, thank you.
Really, the only way to shape the fairway naturally and get to the pin is a forehand, forced, and hyzer. But
then you're landing with a lot of hyzer, and
you're skipping down the hill.
They like to roll. That's what you got to do.
Sit, breaks. Nope.
Oh, and it got the curl.
Honestly, fortunate to not be down there with those spectators. After the bad break, stand up. That's what happens when you land on this green hyzer with speed.
That's
Aaron,
perfect.
Bye-bye.
That's the one that
That's
we're
the gap.
aiming for, though.
That's the gap to hit, and it's blind, and it's so hard to land flat.
Well, the way to do it. Oh, okay. The way to do it is to throw like a flex, so it's coming in kind of soft. But then
Yes.
it's like impossible to hit that little spot.
I know, it's so difficult. Aaron, decent effort. I feel like these are the ones that we see Calvin hit quite often. Opportunity to keep the birdie streak alive. Move to 7 under for the round. No. But 6 under in the front is getting it done. It's good work. What a great birdie for Eagle. Just to play the hole in a way. I mean, a league of his own. I mean, no one else is playing that way. It's also good to see him not just throw the power for him, but that second shot required some really precise level touch shaping. I mean, I think started off with a little bit of flex, but it was never moving really aggressively left or right. It was just a gentle turn to the left and it hit the ground soft.
Oh yeah, you can't write it up any better, really.
It's beautiful.
Any harder and it could roll like them.
Yep. So that's going to do it for the front 9 here. We are halfway through the event, halfway through moving day, and James Conrad has eagled the 16th, and he is 15 under through 16 holes.
Yeah, he's making
special is happening.
His charge for sure.
The course record is 14 under. Mm-hmm. So if he can stay clean in the last 2, which I imagine he's trying to add to that, but if he can stay clean, he's got himself a course record. Right. Already jumped way up the leaderboard. I mean, we see a bunch of people moving up and down. It's the way it goes here on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. If you're not bringing birdies, you're getting bumped down. But I mean, again, another tight event here at the top. Like I said, halfway through the event, a lot of birdies to go. Hopefully not many bogeys. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we have a few people kind of on a nice little pace right now. Yeah, Eagle. That's 6 out of the last 7 holes.
Yep.
We have Calvin doing the same thing, 6 out of the last 7. So we got people playing for sure.
9 more holes here on the second round. Come on back.